Hello, my spooky friends.
My name is Cassie.
And I'm Caitlin.
And welcome into I'd Survive. Okay, well, you can imagine what I've been up to and watching over this past week, I think.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you. Literally, last week we already talked about it. I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time. It's my favorite movie of all time. I genuinely feel like, let me just be dramatic. I feel like I'm like a better person and I learned a lot from that movie.
Yes.
In ways that are like literally too personal to get into. But like I genuinely feel like I am just, oh my gosh, I'm so sad it took me that long to watch it.
I feel this is going to be the next thing that's going to be Cassie in my ear, like, when are you going to watch it? Have you watched it yet?
Buffy.
Who cares?
Who cares about Buffy? No, okay. Love Buffy. We'll always love Buffy. But yeah, so I've rewatched it a lot. But what I also did was I ordered Tim Curry's memoir that came out last fall because I was just so like obviously captivated by him specifically in Rocky Horror. And then I remember also being captivated by him in the movie Clue and being like, wow, that guy is great. Like he really stood out. And then I didn't even realize until like probably the last couple months that, oh, he's also Pennywise. Like I'm like, hello, who is this man?
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to pick up his memoir, and the way his memoir works is he has like different chapters and sections, and he covers like when he was in the Rocky Horror musical, and then when he was in the movie, and then he was in Annie, and like there's like a section for each like project he's covering. Gotcha. And so what I've been doing is I've been like watching the project and then reading the chapter.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, so I watched like he was in Annie, like the 1985 Annie with Carol Burnett, and I watched that. And I also watched this movie called Legend, which is a fantasy movie, director Ridley Scott, who is Alien.
Oh, I was going to say, I know the name. Yeah.
So I was really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, Alien. And also Thelma and Louise, which just happens to be the other movie I watched recently that got moved right up to my top 4 movies on Letterboxd. Like,
wow.
Loved that movie. Oh my gosh, my hand in the background. So I was like, cool, but it wasn't that great. Like Tim Curry was great in it, and it was like visually really stunning, but like the story was just, I wasn't that pulled in. But anyways, all of this to say that the next chapter in the book is it. So this week I'm hoping to finally watch like the 1990 It. It's like called a TV movie, but also miniseries. It's like,
yeah, I didn't know what it was till I sat down to watch it. Because I was like, oh, it's just 2 movies made for TV is essentially like what it is. I thought it was like a mini series in the sense that it was like multiple episodes. It's like, no, it's just like two movies. Yeah, basically.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear what you think of that.
Yeah. I'm not going to react to it just because I know the story, you know?
No, I did, and it was a lot.
It makes sense for you because it's like your favorite thing of all time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's your guy. Pennywise is your guy.
Pennywise is my guy.
So you had to. But yeah, I'm excited. So I'll be reporting back hopefully about that next week.
I look forward to hearing about that.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I really am considering going to the theaters for Undertone. I'm thinking about it.
Dude, I'm excited to not watch that.
Ooh. Okay. What's up?
Well, are we not gonna?
We're gonna?
Aren't we going to?
Oh.
I thought that was the plan. I thought you said that was the plan.
When?
Like a long time ago.
Oh, maybe I just forgot. I was like, yeah, I probably threw it out there because the movie sounds so... Yeah, it's like a podcast horror movie or like about podcasters. So yeah, it would totally work for a podcast episode. Wow, I had great ideas a couple months ago.
I the whole time, like I've been like looking forward to that episode, and you're like, what are you talking about?
That's so funny. No, obviously, I don't know when it'll happen because I'll have to wait for it to
it'll be a while.
At least I might, depending on how good it is, if I see it in theaters first. If it's really good, I'll even bite the bullet and like rent it for $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it hits right away.
Sure.
But we'll see. We'll see how good it is. I hope it's as good as the promo has been.
I don't think I've really I did. I was gonna say I don't think I've really watched anything, but I did, but like it was The Stranger Chapter 3 and literally nobody cares. Literally
no, I do care because I need you to rank those 3 movies now.
So if you looked at my Letterboxd, you would see that I did them in reverse order. Like Strangers was the best, Strangers 2 middle, Strangers 3 worst.
Okay.
But realistically, I think 3 is better than 2. I was just so mad after watching it that I did give it a half a star.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it at the end of the day, my overall feelings were this didn't need to exist, and if it was going to exist, it didn't need to be more than one movie.
I need to ask one question as well about the second 2 movies. I really do think I'll get around to them eventually.
No. But sure,
but,
yeah.
You know how there was like a setup in this is like going to be kind of a spoiler question, warning, but
no one cares.
There was setup in the first movie where it was like this town is spooky and weird and something there's an energy in this town. Like, does that ever get explored as to why the town is that way?
Yes and no. Like it's like yes, but there's not really an
doesn't really matter.
It's just like it's stupid. It
I
kind
just really hated that because the whole point of why the first Strangers is great is because it's just so hyper realistic crazy. Right. Like I didn't like the weird spooky town elements. It's like no, the scary thing is that everything seems normal. Exactly. And then this just happens to you. You know,
like the whole explanation of the strangers in these 3 movies like makes me so angry.
Oh God.
Because like they're not scary anymore. Because they're explained and explored. And that's like the whole point is that they're just these people behind masks. Like I didn't want to know who they were, what they look like their backstory. Like nobody ever wanted to know that.
Okay.
And that's kind of the
that makes
point.
sense.
Yeah.
No, that's movies. Like exactly the point. Yeah, I see that. If they wanted to do like an origin story for the strangers, do like one origin movie. And if some people care and are interested in that, let them see that. But don't make a whole reboot trilogy just to add that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just the most infuriating experience of my life, but it's fine.
Yeah.
In other news, though, I don't really watch award shows, so I did not watch, but the Oscars were last night.
Yes. And I didn't watch either.
No, couldn't catch us watching those. But it was a big Oscars for the horror genre, which is really exciting because
I'm so happy. Because I know both of us were aware of the fact specifically Sinners was like nominated and it's like, okay, you gotta follow through. Come on now. It deserves it.
Yes.
So they won. Well, Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor.
Amazing. Like that.
Like absolutely deserved.
So cool.
And then screenplay
is also
which is huge. So that's really exciting. And then Frankenstein also got a lot of like visual awards. What were they?
Makeup
and
costume.
Yeah,
costume
and like
design.
Production design, like all the visuals they stole. So I haven't watched Frankenstein. I know a lot of people were upset with Jacob Elordi, like he's in the movie and he did great apparently, and people were upset he didn't win. But yeah, I need to watch that movie soon.
Yeah. Weapons also did get a win with actress in supporting role for Amy Madigan.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anyone is shocked by.
No. Highlight of the movie.
Yeah. So it's just really cool to see horror winning.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was like looking at an article here about the horror that won, and they are counting K-pop Demon Hunters as horror in this article, which is really interesting.
They need to get out more, I fear.
Yeah, they might need to. That's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun.
It is. It's also funny. It's interesting because literally just before we started recording today, we had a conversation about the fact that we found like when writing scripts, like recap scripts for older movies versus newer movies, when it comes to more modern horror, it just has gotten so much more sophisticated. It takes longer to write the scripts because the characters actually matter and the dialogue is actually matters and everything.
Yes.
And I feel like maybe that's a reflection, that's what the Oscars are like looking for. That's why horror for so long wasn't taken seriously, because it didn't really want to be, but nowadays it does. So it's cool to see that it's reflecting there, even though, who cares if you got an Oscar or you didn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Hey, speaking of Jacob Elordi, who apparently was just recently snubbed for Frankenstein, we're going to be talking about him today.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I know what this man looks like, but I've heard his name 100 million times.
You must. Have you seen? I feel like if you saw him, you'd know him because he's in Euphoria, and he plays like a big role in that. He was also like in the Kissing Booth movies.
Oh, I did see that one. I did see that one.
Yeah, he's like really tall. That's pretty much it. He's the tall one in that movie.
Yeah, I probably recognize him.
So I think you would. He was in Priscilla. He played Elvis in the movie Priscilla. I've seen him. Have I seen him in everything he's been in? Hello? Like, actually, I've seen a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'm sure people might be surprised to see what we're covering this week because it's very, very, very different from anything we've done before.
Yes.
But I said, like, it's fun. We both have started the year being like, it's fun to do random different types of episodes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And really all we need is a kill count. And I'm like, well, we've got it here. So yeah, let's do it. And this is, guys, this is a type of movie where some people might be upset that you're not literally watching it because it is wonderful, like visually.
Really? Yeah. This was one of those movies that like Cassie texted me about it. I think this is what you texted me. I was in my car. Yeah. And so my car was like reading these messages to me and it was it was a fun, goofy time. But I was like, oh yeah, the only thing I know about that is that there's a bathtub and Harry Styles. And she was like, no. Like, not at all.
Yes to the bathtub. No to Harry Styles. And I was so happy. I think you might be mixing it up with another thriller that Harry did called Don't Worry, Darling.
I bet you that's it. Did it come out around the same time, maybe? Or no? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just uneducated.
Maybe. I forget. I forget when that one came out, but it might have been around the same time. Yeah. So, but no one can get mad at me for doing this because Caitlin wouldn't have watched this movie, okay?
I don't watch anything outside of the horror, like strictly horror genre. Every movie I've watched this year has been horror.
This is the best we can get. And there's things that happen in this movie. It's such a cultural phenomenon. Like there's reference that like this is such a moment in time that I'm happy that you're just going to at least know the story.
Can I say like the funny thing about like what I know about this movie is that like everyone talks about a bathtub, but the way they talk about it is like they refuse to say what it is. They're always just like, oh, the bathtub.
The bathtub.
But like they'll never say what happened.
No, you can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Like, I would rather never have to tell someone.
Well, you're about to tell me.
It's like so insane. Like, I'm a little scared for you, but like, it's going to be worth it because, do it for the camera. You know what I mean? Like,
do it for the camera.
Like, you have to know. It's just like one of those things where it's so wild and it was such a moment. Like, you have to know the things that happen in this movie.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited that you get to tell me all about it.
Yeah.
I think that makes it more fun for me.
Yeah. Just the fact that you don't know what we're about to get into is so funny.
No, I have no idea.
Okay. So Saltburn, a black comedy thriller, premiered at the 50th Telluride Film Festival in Colorado on August 31st, 2023. From there, it did a little festival circuit before Amazon acquired distribution rights for $75 million.
Oh,
crazy.
Shit.
It did also get a theatrical release in November of 2023, but when it really blew up was when it hit streaming on Prime Video on December 22nd, 2023. And I remember I was on top of this movie for some reason.
I thought it was older
watched
than
it.
That. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. I watched it so like before the wave hit, and then I was so sad. I was like, I should have done a reaction to this. I didn't realize it was going to become so huge, and I really liked it, and it has great reaction moments and everything.
I'm sure.
But I watched it too ahead of the time, I guess.
You were just really like there first, you know?
Like I pretty much owned this movie. Yeah, no. It blew up, becoming one of Amazon's top 10 worldwide film debuts. And its viewership quadrupled within 2 weeks of its launch.
Oh.
So it was a fast boom.
Apparently. What happens in this movie?
I don't know.
Why was everybody jumping on board?
This movie is a perfect representation of viral marketing and word of mouth. This movie simply would not be what it is today without the TikTok edits. The Saltburn hashtag has 4 billion views on TikTok.
4 billion?
Yes. Yes.
That's disturbing.
So let me introduce you to our director, a woman.
Okay.
Named Emerald Fennell. She's young, only like 37 years old upon the movie's premiere. After a career of mostly acting and writing, she had her feature film directorial debut in 2020 with the film Promising Young Woman.
Okay.
A movie that has been on my watch list for a very long time. It's another like black comedy thriller that was highly regarded.
Sure.
Then came Saltburn in 2023. And her latest movie that she has directed is Wuthering Heights, which just came out recently with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So she's absolutely killing it. And Saltburn was produced by Emerald as well, alongside Josie McNamara and Margot Robbie. So Margot Robbie was like a producer on this and then went on to act in, her next directing movie.
I like when people have their little circles of people they work with.
I love seeing the connections.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's really cool.
It famously stars Barry Keoghan and Jacob Elordi.
Oh, that's how you say his name. I never knew.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, really?
I never knew.
Oh my gosh. I think I've heard it before. I hope I'm saying it correctly.
I always thought it was like Kate off, so like don't mind me. Like whatever.
That's funny. Yeah, both great actors. Jacob Elordi, best known, as I said, Kissing Booth, Euphoria, Priscilla, now Wuthering Heights. He's doing great. Sure. And then Barry Keoghan is probably probably most known for being Sabrina Carpenter's ex.
That's the only reason I know who he is.
Right. Like there's a big, chunk of people that only know him from that.
Exactly.
But also a great actor. And also I saw him first in Banshees of Inisherin, which is an incredible movie. It's the drama. He's great in it. Go watch it.
Okay.
Rosamund Pike also stars in the movie. I've seen her before in Pride and Prejudice 2005. And she's like the main woman in Gone Girl.
Okay.
This is one of those rare movies where it was beloved by the public and the critics.
Ooh, yes.
Nominated for 2 Golden Globes. I said gloves on the script.
Yeah.
Golden Gloves.
I love a Golden Glove. Give me one.
And 5 BAFTAs. Filming took place in England with a mostly English cast. Jacob Elordi is Australian, but he put on a highly praised upper-class English accent for the film.
Nice.
This is, like I said, very different from anything we've covered on the podcast as far as vibes go. But it's going to work. It's going to be fine. Also, we are not doing survivability check-ins because of the nature of this movie. It's all coming down to one question at the end. And that's going to be your score.
For the question. I'm terrified for the question.
I'm a little nervous to see how you respond to this movie. But
I feel like,
it'll be fine.
I tend to just be very reactionary about certain things. So I don't...
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Makes me worry, but...
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll see.
Sometimes I just be raging for no reason. So
sure. Okay, let's get into it. Deep breaths because we don't get breaks.
Oh, no breaks.
We're locking in.
All right.
So we open up on this really beautiful sunset grain montage. Beautiful candid moments of Jacob Elordi looking like the most beautiful romanticized version of a man that you could imagine.
Oh, sure.
Shots of him smiling and laughing with friends, smoldering gazes into the camera while he sunbathes, smoking a cigarette against the backdrop of a purple sky,
Oh, wow, yes.
Things like that.
So dreamy.
And over this montage of Jacob Elordi being beautiful, we get a monologue from Barry Keoghan. And he says, I wasn't in love with him. I know everyone thought I was, but I wasn't. I loved him, of course. It was impossible not to love Felix. And that was part of the problem. Everyone loved him. Everyone wanted to be around him. It exhausted him. People just wouldn't leave him alone, especially the girls. And as the monologue continues, Felix isn't alone anymore in this imagery. We see him dancing in the club and hooking up with women and everything.
Sure.
The monologue continues. Christ, the girls. It was embarrassing, really, how everyone fawned over him. I think, honestly, that's why he liked me so much. I protected him. I was honest with him. I understood him. I loved him. I loved him. I loved him.
Ooh, you really loved him.
Loved him. But was I in love with him? And then the montage grows more intense and chaotic in its imagery, and the strings and choir builds in the background. And we see flashes of Barry's character, Oliver, groaning in pain into a pillow, like in pain and want, and punching a mirror, causing it to shatter. And then we stop on his talking head where he was giving this monologue. And he takes a quick breath in, like he's about to answer the question officially, like, was he in love too? Are you going to admit it or not?
Answer the question.
Instead of him talking, we cut to the title card, Saltburn.
Ooh, that's an interesting title, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
I really like the title. It stands out. It's like a refreshing title.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. Then we enter the world of University of Oxford. We follow behind Oliver as he finds his way through the busy campus in uniform, and he does get made fun of at one point by another student who makes like a, "Hey, cool jacket" remark to him because, no one else on campus looks like they're in uniform. They're like dressed very casually.
Sure.
But Oliver is looking fresh out the campus pamphlet, and and by the way, we're in 2006.
Oh, okay, noted.
In the 2000s. Oliver makes it to his dorm, which feels very empty and lonely, and the way his hair is styled, the glasses, the snide remarks about his clothes, Oliver is made out to be a classic nerd.
Okay.
He looks out his dorm window to the campus courtyard, and he spots Felix. Felix is tall. Jacob Elordi is 6'5". He just like towers over everyone. And he's in this sky blue sweater. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth as he talks to this group of friends surrounding him, drawn to him. And it seems like Oliver catches himself being drawn to him too. And it scares him a little. He like jolts back from the window and averts his eyes and focuses his energies elsewhere.
Okay.
That night at the campus dining hall, it's busy and packed. They've got those long tables like from Harry Potter that I'm realizing is maybe just a British thing.
It's a Harry Potter thing. That's it. That's what it is.
Oliver is trying to find a place to sit. He asks some people if an empty seat next to them is taken. They completely ignore him. So he moves on trying to find a different spot. And eventually he does. And the boy sitting across from him introduces himself as Michael Gavey. And this guy's really intense. He points out to Oliver that they're clearly the outsiders here. But Oliver's like, it's only the first night of school. Like, what are you talking about? Michael shrugs and tells him to look around. Everyone here has already grouped up and found their people. And then Michael asks him what he's currently reading. But before Oliver has a chance to respond, he answers his own question and goes, "I'm reading maths. I'm a genius. Ask me a sum." And Oliver's like, "No, that's okay. I believe you. I believe that you can do math. That's really nice.
I love that for you."
Yeah. But Michael freaks out, screams, and slams his hands on the table, demanding that Oliver ask him a sum.
Yeah, I'm getting up and I'm going. Goodbye.
I need to eat. That's enough. It's okay.
The heck?
So Oliver's like, okay, 423 times 78. And Michael immediately answers 32,994.
Oh my God.
And Oliver's just sitting there like, that's great, man. Good job. We cut to a 2-on-1 meeting with Oliver's professor, Professor Ware, where they're supposed to be sharing essays that they're working on for their literature class. We're going to be moving through the first semester of college pretty quickly.
Okay.
So there's time gaps between cuts and stuff.
Sure.
And it's supposed to be a 2-on-1. Oliver is present, but the professor is there, but the other student that's supposed to show up and be part of this review. You have something done and you're just going over and reviewing it.
Sure.
So the other student's running late, so Oliver and Professor Ware are making small talk, and Professor Ware asks him if he read any of the reading list over the summer, and Oliver's like, yeah, all of it. And Professor Ware is shocked by this. He's like, what the hell? I haven't even read half of the reading list. He's like, the Bible is on there. You read the entire Bible? And Oliver's like, I thought it was mandatory, the reading list. And Professor Ware's like, no, it was optional. And Oliver apologizes. And then we get an awkward silence. But
okay.
Don't worry, the other student has finally arrived, and his name is Farley Start.
What a freaking name.
I've never heard Farley before.
I just hear fart when you say Farley Start.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mostly stick to the first name for him, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
He's a nice, normal college kid, no specific vibe or aesthetic to him. He seems very laid back, yet quick-witted, and Professor Ware realizes that he went to school with Farley's mother, and he thinks back on her with like delight and fondness. So Farley's like, oh, I'll have to tell her that her old friend is my teacher now. And Professor Ware panics a little and goes, oh, no, we weren't so much friends. I was a sort of admirer from afar. Oh. You know, so don't bring me up. Don't do that.
Yeah,
so anyway. Now that we have another awkward conversation out of the way,
yes,
it's time to actually get some essay feedback. And basically, Oliver gets judged by Farley for like using the word thus 7 times throughout his essay.
Valid.
And Oliver's kind of offended that his rhetoric is being judged when the literal content of his essay is very well developed and thorough. And he leaves that little feedback session feeling pretty bummed. Most things on this campus seem to have that effect on him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would agree. Maybe don't use thus.
Yeah.
These days.
I totally get Farley's argument actually here, where it's like, it's not just about the content being good, it's how you deliver it.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. You could argue that matters more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's December now, moving quickly. Oliver's studying in the library and getting distracted by Felix, a couple shelves down from him, laughing with his friends like he always is. And Oliver gets jump scared by Michael Gavey, math guy, who offers him a crunch bar and then just starts talking at him. He always talks at him, you know. Can you believe we didn't get invited to the big campus Christmas party tonight? Pretty much everyone got invited but us. I checked. We're such losers. As if we'd want to go to that party anyway. Am I right? Hey, are you going to eat that? And then he takes his crunch bar back and just starts chomping on it. And
I hate him. Like I really, I can't.
Oliver very clearly can't stand Michael either.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have anyone else, so he just puts up with him.
Oof. No, I would take nothing over that.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be alone.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Cut to post-Christmas break. Back on campus, Oliver's riding his bike in, and he sees Felix on the side of the dirt track with his bike on the ground looking like he needs some help. So, of course, he stops.
Oh, and perfect opportunity.
Exactly. Asks if he's all right. Felix tells him it's fine. He's just got a flat tire. And it sucks, though, because he's not going to make it to his tutorial in time now, whatever that is. There's a slightly awkward silence, of course, that follows where we can see that Oliver really wants to help him. And he's thinking it over, and he decides to offer up his own bike. Sure. And he's like, take mine. At first, Felix is like, no way, it's all right. But Oliver insists it's no big deal. He's not in a hurry, just headed to the library. And he goes, I'll get it back from you some other time. We're in the same college. So college being like dorm building.
Okay.
And Felix had no idea. He's like, oh, seriously? Like, didn't know that, of course. And Oliver's face falls flat, but he's not that surprised that Felix has never noticed him around. Anyway, Felix is very grateful. And he's like, fuck, this is so kind. Are you serious? This is so kind. Like, he can't believe it. He just can't believe this man is lending him his bike. It's like, he's his hero. But then he's like, are you sure? It's like a bit of a faff wheeling it back to college.
A faff?
Had to look that up. It means a time-consuming task.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A faff. Actually, I'm going to use that all the time.
Do it.
Because most of my life is full of faffs.
Right.
Like,
list of faffs. It's not a to-do list. It's just faffs.
It's faffs.
Yeah. So Oliver's like, oh, do you want me to wheel your bike back? Because he's like, it's a bit of a journey, like having to wheel my bike back. And Oliver wasn't even thinking that he would be doing that. But he's like, oh, you want me to wheel your bike back?
Oh, I mean, like, that's what I would think. Like,
I don't want to just leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Felix gets a little embarrassed and is like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I just thought, and Oliver stops him and goes, yeah, I can wheel it back. No big deal. They finally learn each other's names then, and Felix grabs Oliver's head by his bike helmet and kisses the helmet, going, Oliver, I love you. I love you. I love you. You're a fucking lifesaver. I love you. And then off he rides, promising to leave Oliver's bike in the bike shed when he gets back.
Interesting. I can see based on one interaction why he might have this magnetic energy. He just seems very confident and makes other people feel good. And this giving like very charismatic personality.
Oh yeah, so charismatic. Have you ever like met someone like this that makes you feel like you're the greatest person alive?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
it's so rare to come across a person that can make you feel that way in such a deep way. Like, I don't know. It's just this very rare type of charisma.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't even begin to, like, imagine what it's like to be that person. And just, like, they just seem so natural and like everything comes easy to them. It's weird.
It's like this there's a level of confidence in a person where they put other people down because of how confident they are. But then there's a higher level of confidence where they just see the beauty in everyone and are ready to, like, lift everyone up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that high level of does not come easy.
No.
So yeah, Oliver's left standing there trying to, like, keep his giddiness in check because, like, just being looked at and perceived by Felix to him is probably a big deal. And then that interaction going the way it did, he's like, oh my God.
Yep.
The next night, Oliver and Michael are at a pub and Michael's droning on and on about maths as usual.
Sure.
And Felix is with a big group of friends on another side of the bar. And when Oliver gets up and heads to the counter, Felix spots him and calls him over. He's like, oh my God, there he is. Oliver, come here, come here. And he introduces Oliver to his friends. He's like, guys, this is my hero right here. I was just telling everyone how you saved my ass yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And side note, sitting next to Felix, part of the friend group, is Farley, his literature peer.
Ah, yes.
And Felix tells Oliver to sit down with him and says, like, he owes him a drink.
Oh.
So Oliver looks back and sees Michael on the other side of the bar looking at him like,
we ditching you. We ditching you. Absolutely.
Right? Felix notices him looking around and is very considerate. He's like, oh, sorry. Are you with a friend right now? And Oliver shakes his head and says that his friend just left and he takes a seat next to Felix.
Period. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah. Michael just leaves the bar pretty hurt, and I'm not that upset either.
No, he seems so annoying and, like, so self-centered.
That's the thing. It's the self-centeredness of his character that makes me not feel as bad.
Right. Exactly.
So yes, Oliver spends the night at the bar with Felix and his friends. They do shots, and then they do more shots.
Ooh, oh dear.
And eventually, Farley, the literature peer, is like, okay, Oliver, it's your turn to buy the next round. And Oliver clams up a bit. He doesn't have that kind of money.
Oop.
So he's like, I think I'm actually going to head out. But Farley doesn't let him off that easily. He says it's pub rules. Everyone has to buy a round. So Oliver gets peer pressured to go up to the bar counter, and he's quietly begging the bartender to just give him a round and he'll pay him back tomorrow.
Oh.
He'll figure it out. Back at the table, Felix is scolding Farley for the peer pressure and tells him that a round is going to cost Oliver a fortune.
Yeah.
And then he swaggers on over to the bar counter to Oliver, whose conversation with the bartender is not going well.
I cannot imagine, no.
Yeah. And he pulls out, like, a pound note, some money he says that he found on the floor that Oliver must have dropped. So yes, Oliver takes it and pays for the round, and then he promises Felix that he'll pay him back tomorrow, but Felix looks at him, like, genuinely confused and is like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I just found that on the ground.
Yeah.
From here, we get a bit of a montage again. The Felix and Oliver are friends now montage.
Oh, okay. Cute.
Oliver is officially a part of the group and tagging along with everything they do, and Felix and Oliver are getting to know each other. Felix comes from an extremely wealthy family. Like, the estate that he lives on is apparently an inspiration for a famous writer that Oliver is familiar with.
Jeez, okay.
And Felix is, like, literally a hereditary knight. He has, like, a knight title that's been passed on to him.
Wow, okay.
Through his family lineage, and then his dad is, like, a lord. It's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Farley is actually Felix's cousin, and Felix's dad pays for his education in full because he feels bad about the fact that Farley's mother was cut off from her inheritance thanks to a gold-digging husband of hers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
So Oliver has a harder time opening up about his own life in return, but Felix, like, really wants to know. He's interested in him and in understanding him. That's how he approaches every person. Like, he wants to know about you, like, truly.
Yeah.
So Oliver tells him that he doesn't have any siblings. He's not very close with his parents. They struggled a lot his parents did with mental health and addiction. And his dad even got into dealing at one point. And Felix feels for him and is really good at keeping Oliver's morale up. He's got like a fuck them attitude and tells Oliver that he's an inspiration to him. And also throughout this montage, something I really love is at one point, Felix offers Oliver a smoke and he declines, saying he doesn't smoke. But then literally the next scene is a different night and they're both smoking together. So Oliver is basically like just trying to blend in and be like Felix and be like fit in with the friend group and like he's just doing whatever to fit in now that he has a chance.
Yikes. Okay.
We get a quick library scene where Oliver runs into Michael again for the first time in a very long time, and he gets called a bootlicker by Michael, and Michael warns him that eventually Felix will get bored of Oliver. Outside on campus later on, Oliver trails behind Felix and his girlfriend, friends with benefits, girl, I don't know, and he listens in on their conversation. Her name is Annabelle. She's talking about some sort of gathering that she doesn't want Oliver to be invited to because apparently nobody wants to sit next to Oliver at a table because he has no chat, he's a scholarship boy, and he buys his clothes off the rack.
Oh. Wow. Thank you so much for that.
Felix kind of laughs her off and is just like, harsh, you're so harsh. But like he doesn't really say anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Oliver ends up following them back to Felix's dorm that night and watches through the window as they hook up.
Oh.
So that's not okay.
No, I don't love that, buddy.
When Oliver hangs out with Felix in his dorm the next day, there's some tension and we're starting to see like the cracks in their difference in class.
Ooh, okay.
Felix is laid out on the floor and his room is a mess. There's literally like old pizza slices randomly on his floor everywhere.
No, ew.
Yeah.
Nope, can't do it.
And it stresses Oliver out. He starts cleaning up Felix's room and tells Felix like that since he's rich, he's never going to get off his ass and clean it for himself. So, okay, I'm going to do it then. Felix, of course, snaps at Oliver and takes the garbage bag from him, telling Oliver to stop treating him like a child, and he cleans up the rest of the garbage in his room. You know, he's capable. Oliver asks Felix if he's been on edge because of exams coming up, and Felix snaps again, and he's like, I'm not on edge. I'm not stressed out. You're driving me fucking... But then he stops, and they cool down before a fight really, truly starts, and just agree to, okay, see you tomorrow. You'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
They hang out pretty much every day at this point, but the next night, Oliver doesn't hear from Felix, and he ends up finding him with his friend group at the pub that night, and he didn't get an invite.
Oh, no. Oh, it's breaking down.
When he heads back to his dorm, Annabelle is in the lobby, and apparently she's waiting for Felix. They were supposed to meet up tonight as well. And Oliver tells her that he's at the pub with everyone. She rolls her eyes and looks like she didn't get the memo either. So this leads to the both of them in Oliver's dorm getting drunk and making out.
Oh, okay.
Crazy, because literally she's like was just talking shit about him.
Yeah.
It would have gone even further, but while they're getting into it, Annabelle asks him if he thinks that this will make Felix jealous. And Oliver says, honestly, I don't think it'll even fucking register.
Ooh.
And she scoffs and like gets off of him and just leaves. Yikes. The only purpose of this for her would have been to make Felix jealous. So she's not going to risk going through this and not getting that reaction. Like she doesn't really want to do this.
Of course. Oh.
Yeah, this movie's so tea. This movie's so messy tea.
Oh, I can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. The next morning, we get a shot of puke all over Oliver's sink. Clearly, He continued with the alcohol on his own after Annabelle left, and he gets a call from his mom. So we cut to Oliver knocking on Felix's door in tears. And of course, seeing Oliver like this, Felix immediately invites him in and tells him to explain what's going on. Oliver fills him in. His father is dead.
Oh!
He was drunk and high and just had a freak accident that ended up with him cracking his head on the pavement.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. All right.
Wild.
We're just here now.
His mom was pretty incoherent on the phone, but she kind of always is. And Oliver seems to just be in a numb sort of shock. Felix tells him that he needs to go home. Like he's in no state to take the exams. We're already like, it's June or May or whenever they wrap up the year.
Right. Wow.
It's like exams are coming up. But Oliver tells him, I can't miss the exams. I'm not like you. This is all I have.
Ugh. Yikes.
And Felix accepts that, but he just looks really sad about it. We cut to the end of the school year. Exams are over. Everyone's dressed up in their tuxes and dresses because there's like a ball happening. Of course, Farley sees Oliver in his tux and has to comment on how it's a rental and his sleeves are too long, but he almost looks like he's, quote, passing.
Yikes.
Farley runs off and Felix runs in, spotting Oliver for the first time, and he grabs his hand, telling Oliver to follow him. They're headed in the exact opposite direction that the end-of-year ball is taking place, but that's fine. The bridge over a little stream that Felix takes Oliver to is much prettier and quieter, and Felix starts talking. Okay.
Why do you say okay?
There's just so many, like, proper monologues that happen in this movie. It's not crazy long, but there's just so many of them.
Yeah.
Look, you've had such a shit time lately and you've been so brave about everything. So in my family, we have this tradition, right? When somebody dies, we write their name on a stone and we chuck it in the river. My great-grandfather started it when his son died in the war, and I've only done it for my dogs so far, but, you know, I don't know. It helped a bit. So they have this really sweet moment where Oliver writes his dad's name on a rock, and then they have a moment of silence before Oliver throws it into the river. Unfortunately, though, he accidentally throws it to the side in some garbage and puke at the river's edge, and they're like, oh, that can't be good. That's probably not a good sign.
I thought that counts, right?
Exactly. We get a time cut. It's pitch dark now outside, like of the same night, and Felix and Oliver are still sitting on the bridge, now passing a bottle of alcohol between the two of them, just talking. Felix asks him if he's going to go home for the summer, and Oliver says he doesn't think he'll ever go home again, even with his mom still there.
Oh, wow. So that's not a good relationship then.
Yeah.
If he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, like he's kind of fed up with, I mean, now he's lost his dad to addiction and his mom's addicted, and he's like, I just don't even want to entertain this anymore.
Sure.
He says the first time he had to stick his fingers down his mother's throat to make her throw up and stop an overdose was when he was 8 years old.
Oh, yeah. I don't really blame you for not wanting to go back there.
Right. He can't take it anymore. He says to Felix, home just doesn't mean the same to me as it does to you. And Felix thinks about that, and he offers, well, then why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
Oh! Yes. Hey, he said the thing, everybody.
Roll the credits.
Roll them.
Oliver immediately says no. Like, it would feel weird. Basically, without really putting it into words, he'd feel like too much of an outsider there. But Felix tells him it wouldn't be weird, that his mom has guests stay at the castle for months on end. It's no big deal. Literally a castle.
It's so crazy.
It's no big deal. And he goes, and hey, if you get sick of us, you can leave. I promise. Back to the talking head version of Oliver that narrates from time to time. He says, and I believed him. Saltburn, you know, like we're really hyping up this majestic place.
Yeah.
So yeah, we cut to Oliver in the backseat of a car getting driven up to the Saltburn estate, and he gets dropped off on the front lawn with his little suitcase, and the place is huge.
Oh, jeez.
Like the thing of old century novels.
Oof.
So he walks up the front garden and eventually makes it to like the 25-foot door where his knock is met by some disgruntled butlers, and Oliver's early. They are a little annoyed. They wish that he would have informed them of his earlier arrival time, because then they would have sent a driver down to the end of the drive to pick him up.
Okay. It's all right. We're good.
No, that's him. He's like a little confused and he shrugs it off. He's like, oh, it's fine. Like, I didn't mind the 100-yard walk.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I walked 2 miles.
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
Oh my God.
But anyway, Duncan, the head butler, shows him inside, and he's got this very intimidating demeanor that Oliver is grateful to be interrupted by Felix's presence. He comes strolling over and takes over the tour from there, and the tour is wild. This place is huge and has enough artifacts to house its own museum.
Oh dear.
Rooms are labeled as like the blue room, the green room, the red room, just based on their decor and aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
And at one point, Felix points to a spot in a corridor and goes, I accidentally fingered my cousin there one time.
Accidentally what?
Yeah, fingered his cousin. Just an accident, though. Yeah. It's just like royalty things, you know?
Oh, that's nice. I literally just like, no, I definitely misheard what she just said.
Welcome to the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, Oliver gets shown to his room and he's informed that he'll be sharing a bathroom with Felix in order to avoid having to stay in the room, quote, miles away.
Okay, did you say bath room?
Bath room. You heard it right.
Is that the bath? I don't want
we
it
shall
to be
see.
the bath.
Felix tells him that he left a razor for Oliver in the bathroom and please make sure to stay clean shaven. My mother has a phobia when it comes to facial hair.
Ooh, yeah, so scary.
Yeah, obviously Oliver is kind of thrown by that and is like, is there anything else I should know about?
I would be so scared if someone said that to me, not even because of the facial hair, but you're right. Like,
like the little things you probably don't think twice about. Am I about to offend someone by being myself?
Oh my God. Yeah, I would want to be out of here. I mean, I wouldn't, but I would want to be.
Yeah, I don't think I could stay here long term. Like, it'd be a fun visit, but this is not my scene.
No.
But yeah, Felix says no, nothing else to worry about, leaves him to get settled in, and tells him that he can meet Felix and his family in the library whenever he's ready. That's where everyone is right now.
The library.
So yes, Oliver gets settled in, whatever that means, in a place like this, and then heads down to the library. And before he walks inside, he can hear Felix and his family watching a movie. They're watching Superbad. It's just like a raunchy comedy from the 2000s on my list. And they're talking about him.
Oh.
Felix's mom, Lady Catton, is filling her friend in on Felix's poor, ugly friend who had dealers for parents, and one of them is now dead while the other is still an alcoholic.
What is it with people like talking about him while he can hear them?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Keep it down. Like, shh. You do realize he's, Anyways... She goes, and oh my God, at just 8 years old, he had to stick his fingers down his mom's throat. And Felix scolds Farley, also in the room.
Oh, wait, why does Farley have to be here?
For clearly blabbing about what Felix thought he was sharing with him in confidence. But like, we gossip. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so everyone in the room, we have Sir and Lady Catton, Felix, and then Felix's cousin Farley, and then Pamela is Lady Catton's friend who's just also staying with them right now. And then Oliver walks in and he has a little piece of tissue on a dot of blood above his lip from shaving.
Oh my God.
And Felix quickly gestures to it and Oliver pulls it off in time just before Lady Catton walks up to him with big open arms in greeting.
Oh my
and
God.
She seems a bit sincere, I think. Like she seems a bit surprised by him.
Okay.
She's like, oh, Oliver, what wonderful eyes you have. Beautiful. Thank God. Can I be honest with you? Ever since I was little, I've had a complete and utter horror of ugliness. I don't know why. So she's like relieved that he's not as ugly as she thought he would be.
Like, can you imagine someone coming up to you like that? Like, oh, thank God you're not just hideous. That would have been a problem for me.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be...
I don't even know what to say to that.
I unfortunately do have a level of insecurity where I would be relieved. But then I would also be like, wait a minute. I need to get out of here.
Wait, that's a little strange, ain't it?
Felix jabs at her saying, maybe because you're a terrible person, maybe that's why you think that way. I don't know. Like, it's a joke, but not a joke, but it's a joke. I don't know.
I know what you mean. Do they do the rich laugh in this movie?
They do kind of have rich laughs. It's not too, like, cartoonish, but it's definitely there.
I love it.
Lady Catton doesn't take that to heart and airily jabs back at him, telling him not to be mean. And Sir Catton introduces himself as well, also very warm in, their own snooty way.
Sure.
Farley is sitting at the back of the room with his laptop and a cigarette in his hand, watching all of these warm welcomes and trying his best to hold back an eye roll. Mm-hmm. Lady Catton invites Oliver to sit next to her and then tells her friend Pamela to go find Annie and ask her to bring them some tea. And as soon as Pamela is out of the room, Lady Catton fills Oliver in on her own tea.
Oh my God.
She goes, poor dear Pamela. I love it. In the script, she's literally poor dear Pamela. It's great. She goes, poor dear Pamela. She's been staying with us while she gets back on her feet. She's had an awful time this year, hideous. But, Oliver, so have you. God, I'm so sorry to hear about your father. How utterly, utterly tragic. I've lost so many friends to addiction. It's the root of poor Pamela's horrors, too, I'm afraid. So Farley pipes up in a drawl from the back, and he goes, and the only interesting thing about her. And Lady Catton scolds Farley for his comment, but then she goes, she is rather dull, actually, but she's so beautiful. You have to admit, she's very beautiful. Like,
oh, the beauty is more important than the personality.
100%. Yeah.
Yikes.
So we get it. This family is so out of touch. Like, my God. And Lady Catton continues to spill her friend's life to Oliver,
nice.
Telling him about how she's currently hiding from her ugly Russian billionaire husband. And then she keeps asking Oliver very like intrusive questions about his home life. Like it's a lot. We cut to that same night and Oliver has finally made it back to his bedroom for a moment of to breathe.
I would want to hide in there the whole time. Like it sounds so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost like he's looked at as like a different species.
Right.
Like, you're so interesting, but like in a kind of a, I don't know, dehumanizing way.
Yeah. Ugh.
Felix comes in the room and apologizes about his mother. He's very aware that was a lot. And Oliver's looking around and notices that his suitcase has been unpacked for him and his things are like hung up in a wardrobe. And Felix is like, oh yeah, I should have told you. The maids all report back to mother, by the way. So hope you didn't pack anything scandalous.
Yikes.
And don't worry, he didn't. But like, okay. Didn't know people were going to go through my stuff. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Felix also informs him that he had the maids hang up an old school dinner jacket for Oliver because they have a black tie dress code for dinner every night. Yeah. This is where I'm officially out. Every night is crazy. Like I might want to stick around just because like you might think I'm a spectacle, but you guys are spectacles. Like I kind of just want to see what the hell goes on around here.
Actually, you're the true spectacle. Yeah. No, that just I don't understand. Like, there are people like this that exist.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I can't believe it's hard for me to fathom it. Like, that sounds awful.
I know. It's weird what humans, I don't think, are meant to have so much money and have literally nothing to do. And it's weird what humans do when they have nothing to do.
Yes.
It's odd.
It's very odd.
Yeah. So cut to dinner. You can imagine the majesty of the dining room, like every other room.
Yep.
Very beautifully moody. We've got the candles out, the chandelier. Oliver and Pamela are seated next to each other, and she's filling him in on this Russian billionaire husband that she's hiding from.
Yes.
And she goes, we met in rehab. He was just so lovely at first. And then all of a sudden, his business partners started to sort of, falling out of windows, And Oliver's looking at her like, yeah, I hate when that happens, for sure.
Oh, God.
Pamela does bring up to the entire table as well that her cousin actually has a London flat available for her to stay in whenever she's ready to go. And literally everyone is like, yes, that would be great. That would be so good for you. London flats are so great, so cozy.
Please get the hell out of our house.
Yeah. She has greatly overstayed her welcome in their eyes, and they're done with her. So later that night, it's time for bed, and in his bedroom, Oliver notices Venetia, Felix's sister, out on the castle grounds. She's popped up here and there. This isn't our first sighting of Venetia. She's been like draping herself around the castle with her eyes set on Oliver this entire time.
Oh.
So Oliver goes out there to check on her. Like he's afraid she's sleepwalking because it's weird. Turns out she isn't, and he scares her a bit when he comes up behind her. She's got a cigarette hanging from her mouth as always. The smoking never ends. And she's like, no, I'm not sleepwalking. I just wanted to have a look at the moon. And she teases him that it's nearly full and they're all about to lose their minds. So Oliver laughs politely and then offers a blanket that he brought with him. She accepts it but laughs and says, we're all cold-blooded. Haven't you noticed? Like she doesn't need this blanket.
Of course not.
Oliver shakes his head, now shivering in his pajama pants, and goes, you're not cold-blooded. Your family's so kind to me. And Venetia smiles, and a light bulb goes on in her head, and she goes, I see why Felix likes you so much. You're so, real. I like you even better than last year's one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's never a good comment.
No.
In a spooky-ish, weird movie.
Right. Oliver's a little thrown off by that, but they bid each other goodnight and they head off. And at breakfast the next morning, Oliver sits with the family and sees Duncan, the head butler, set a plate of food down in front of Lady Catton. So he goes, oh, could I have a full English breakfast too? And the room goes quiet and everyone looks at him. So he's just sitting there awkwardly like, what have I done wrong?
Uh-oh.
So apparently the breakfast buffet is set up at the side of the room where he can help himself.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh.
But Duncan asks him, he's like, how would you like your eggs? And Oliver's super embarrassed. He's like, oh, no, it's okay. Like, I can help myself. Again, everyone stares at him. And then Lady Catton explains, the eggs are made fresh to your liking. The rest you can grab from the buffet.
Oh my God, dude. No, I gotta go.
I know.
This is awful. I can't. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Like, I miss the Speak No Evil couple. That's a lie. That's a lie. But like, it's just deeply uncomfortable, this.
Yes. No, that is like one of my least favorite things in movies. Not literally, because usually it makes for a good movie, but it's like, being that through the screen, secondhand embarrassment.
The cringe.
It's so bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, right. So he asks for them to be over hard, but when they get brought out shortly after this request, they've been made sunny side up, and he's looking down at them like not sure what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Felix notices and asks if something's wrong. And Oliver's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just that the yolk, when it isn't cooked, it makes me a bit queasy. So then Duncan has to take them back and remake the things, and Oliver is just extremely embarrassed and apologetic. Like, this is one of those I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Situations because of this environment that's been created.
Sure.
Now it's time for a good time summer montage, okay?
Okay.
It's mostly Oliver, Felix, Farley, and Venetia all spending time together a lot because they're around the same age. We see them sunbathing completely naked in a field, relaxing on tubes in a pond, reading and watching movies together in the library, playing tennis very badly in black tie attire. This montage is just like pure serotonin. It's really lovely.
Yeah, okay, love that.
It's also important to note that we see moments with the entire family as well in the montage, and we see Oliver studying books on Saltburn and then like impressing the family with his high-class knowledge.
Oh my God. By
the end of the montage, we even get moments where Oliver's accent starts to become a touch more high-class as well.
Oh, jeez.
He's not just blending in anymore. He's like really fitting in and truly being accepted by the Cattons. Like over time, they are viewing him of less of a spectacle and more as one of them.
Huh. Okay.
Then one night, Oliver is in his bedroom when he hears... Oh, okay.
What?
So we're coming up on something here. We are coming up on...
On what? Don't say the bathtub.
We're coming up on the bathtub.
No, I don't want to know about the bathtub.
It's
I'm
like
scared
the bathtub isn't the only thing either. Like you have much to look forward to, but this is a big step. This is a big step here.
Okay, I'm scared.
Okay, one night, Oliver's in his bedroom when he hears Felix's moans coming from the bathroom that they share.
Oh.
The door is very slightly ajar, just enough for Oliver to peek inside, and he sees Felix soaking in the bathtub while pleasuring himself.
Oh, okay.
Felix finishes in the bathwater and then gets out, unplugs the drain, whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine and normal.
Okay. The weird bathness is over.
So a couple minutes later.
No. Anything to happen a couple minutes later.
Both Felix and Oliver are at their respective sinks brushing their teeth, saying goodnight. Felix leaves to his room. And then Oliver lingers in the bathroom. He goes over to the bathtub, gets inside.
In the bath, okay.
In the bath. And he starts rubbing his face against the wet floor of the tub near the drain. And he slurps some of it up.
What?
And then he moves directly to the drain and sticks his tongue down the drain.
Ew, what?
He's tonguing the drain.
Why?
And he takes a long slurp straight out the pipe as well. Because there's still like a little bit of water among other fluids
I get it.
left.
I get it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Ew. What?
I know.
Like that actually makes me want to gag. Like that's disgusting.
I actually wonder about the scene. Like, did he really? I think he must have. Unless they it was like a prop that they made. That can't be a real drain because he goes for it. He really does.
Ew. And I'm just like, obviously, like there are a lot of reasons why that's disgusting, but like I'm also just thinking of like my drain is not clean.
No, in the first place, like just a drain,
like, just to be
in general.
With the drains are,
and then
like,
you add
gross.
Other factors, and it's like, oh wow.
Oh, I didn't like it. Okay, so that's why when people would talk about the bath, they wouldn't tell.
Yeah, it's not really something that you talk about.
No, I guess that's
yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Ew. That's gonna be stuck with me. I don't want to watch this movie.
So see, this is the thing. This is the thing. You wouldn't watch it. It's not.
I don't want to watch that.
So it's safe to say that his feelings for Felix seem to have turned into a certain level of obsession here. Because you have to be so obsessed with someone to find pleasure in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, time for some bonding time between Oliver and Lady Catton in the garden over some snacks and tea. Okay? Ready to eat?
Yeah. No. No.
So she's filling him in on her worry over her daughter, Venetia, how she has an insatiable sexual appetite since she was 14, alongside a horrendous case of bulimia.
Yeah, can I go home now? Like, I'm good with this.
I think we're like halfway. It feels like still the beginning of the movie, but it's not.
It does, actually.
Lady Catton really just wants to see her settle down into something long-term with someone soon. And she goes, if she found the right boy or girl, I don't care, anything. I was a lesbian for a while, you know? But it was all just too wet for me in the end. Men are so lovely and dry. Oliver goes,
what the fuck is happening? Like, literally, like 5 minutes ago, I was like, all right, this is kind of interesting. Yeah. And now I'm just like,
I'm scared.
No.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, sure is.
Oliver goes, it can't have been easy for Venetia, you know, you being her mother, though. And Lady Catton's eyes widen, like in genuine curiosity, and she asks, why?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
And Oliver says, because you're so fucking beautiful. Like, she compares herself to you.
Oh, okay.
Lady Catton stares at him for a moment and then laughs it off to herself. So, like, moving on.
Okay.
Oliver asks what Lady Catton thinks Pamela will be wearing this evening. And she's like, oh no, Pamela's gone. James, her husband, thought it best to peel her away this morning without too much of a scene. Only so many hints that you can drop. So they finally kicked her out, basically.
Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah. Oliver admits that Pamela did seem a bit lost, and Lady Catton laughs at that, thinking it's a very kind way to put it. And then she takes a moment to vent about how annoyed she was with Pamela and how much she hated that Pamela would just never stop complaining about all her hardships. And Oliver goes, if they're even true. And Lady Catton stops and is like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Oliver backtracks, saying he shouldn't have said anything. And Lady Catton insists that he go on. And he's like, okay, I don't know, just her stories. They seemed a bit inconsistent at times. I thought you noticed it too. And immediately Lady Catton's like, oh, yes, I had, absolutely. And he continues, the self-pity, emotional blackmail, you know. She nods. She's like, yes, my God. I was really feeling quite guilty about it this afternoon, but you're absolutely right. There was actually something quite sinister about her. Ugh, thank goodness for you, Oliver. You're so perceptive.
What happened to Oliver? I mean, like, I get what happened to Oliver, but at the same time, I'm like, he seemed normal at the beginning.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's definitely a vibe shift here where I'm like, what are you doing?
Who are you? Like,
yeah.
Like, I understand wanting to fit in, but then, like, there's going too far, and it feels like he's starting to, like, really become them in a way that's unappealing.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
You know?
Back in Oliver's bedroom that night, again, he sees Venetia on a midnight stroll in the garden. So, you know what he does. He goes out to her.
Sure.
She's sitting on a bench by the time he makes it to her, and she goes, you're presumptuous, like coming out to her, I guess. And he counters, and you're in a see-through night dress beneath my window.
What?
Yeah. So he's like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yes, we're getting flirty, but Oliver drives the subject of conversation to, of all things, her bulimia.
Oh, yeah, let's chat about that.
He tells her she's too beautiful to have bulimia.
Oh, that's how that works, buddy. Good job. You nailed it.
Cured. So tomorrow at dinner, he says she's going to eat and she's going to stay at the table. And he leans down close to her, like very intensely. And he's like, do you understand? Like he's telling her tomorrow you're going to eat and you're not going to throw up your food. I
don't like Oliver anymore.
Yeah, he's so commanding that she answers yes. She says yes. Ew. Then he kneels down in front of her and starts to scrunch her nightdress higher up her thighs. And he goes, I could just eat you. His hands slide all the way up under her dress and he starts to touch her. And she has an immediate, like, positive physical reaction. But she tells him, Oliver, it's not the right time of the month. He asks her, do you think that's something I'm worried about? And he's like, it's lucky for you. I'm a vampire.
Ew, no. Yeah. I don't like that line. Take that back.
It's interesting.
That's a really wild thing to say.
Then he pulls his bloody fingers out from under her dress and kisses them.
No, stop.
Before then rubbing her own blood all over her chest.
Why?
And then he sucks more of the blood off of his fingers.
Stop. I can't do this.
And then he sticks his fingers in her mouth.
Ew!
We get a very messy, bloody makeout that, of course, ends with him going all in and eating her out.
Dude, I'm so, grossed out. What the fuck?
This is another wild moment, of course.
It's being, why is it being so extra?
Yeah.
You do you,
I have things
but
to
also,
say. I hope I remember to come back to this scene, because I do have things to say.
Why are you rubbing the blood everywhere?
Yeah. Pan up to a castle window, and someone's watching.
Oh, who?
It's Farley.
Oh, that's probably bad.
And he shakes his head and goes, you stupid little boy. Next morning at breakfast, Oliver's watching Venetia carefully as she eats her croissant and berries and cream. And Farley is watching the both of them with amusement. Mm-hmm. Felix, however, appears to be having a rough morning. He doesn't want to be sitting at this table. He's not really acknowledging people. Mm-hmm. But when he finds out that his dad's friends, the Henrys, being literal men all with first names Henry.
Oh. Thought that was the last name.
I know.
Okay.
They're all coming for dinner tonight, and he's annoyed. He just wants to relax. He doesn't want guests tonight.
Sure.
And then Lady Catton is like, oh, Oliver, your birthday is coming up. We should plan a small party. What do you think, 100, 200 people? We need a theme. Midsummer Night's Dream, perhaps.
Oh.
So Felix couldn't be more bored, and Venetia actually storms off from the table, likely to stick her fingers down her throat, defying Oliver's orders.
Yikes.
And we cut to a bit later, and I was honestly expecting Oliver to immediately go sort out Venetia for whatever motive he has.
Right.
But no, he goes to find Felix, sunbathing as usual.
Sure.
And Felix doesn't acknowledge him when he walks up and takes a seat in the sun chair next to him. So Oliver is the one to ask Felix, what's wrong? And yes, something is very obviously wrong, but Felix is like, I'm fine. Why? I'm not annoyed. What do you want? He's just okay, we're not going to buy it, dude. Give an attitude. But eventually he breaks and he goes, it's just slightly bad form. That's all. And Oliver asks, what's bad form?
Mm-hmm.
And Felix answers, what do you think? Getting with Venetia, Oliver.
Oh.
Farley saw you two. It's just fucking cringe. You're supposed to be my friend. Oliver goes, it's just that I didn't want to embarrass Venetia. And Felix is like, what? What do you mean?
Uh-huh.
Oliver explains, well, I saw her outside and I went down to see if she was okay. And I think she got the wrong end of the stick because she tried to kiss me and I politely steered her away.
Oh my, who is Oliver at this point? I'm so, ooh.
Yeah. Felix doesn't buy it. He goes, Farley says you two were practically eating each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver shakes his head. And you believe Farley? Me and Venetia? Come on. And I really thought it'd be nicer to just not tell you about it because she was hammered and she probably doesn't even remember. I don't want to embarrass her.
Weird. Okay.
Felix finally accepts Oliver's explanation and relaxes. He's like, God, fucking Farley, what a shit stirrer. Well, thank God. I thought we were going to have another Eddie situation. He was my best friend and came for the summer and had a thing with Venetia, and it just made everything so awkward and kind of ruined our friendship. Ooh. Oliver shakes his head with empathy. I can't imagine.
I can't even imagine. Huh, crazy.
Cut to Oliver walking outside on the Saltburn grounds when he hears Farley and Felix getting into it a bit with each other, so he listens in. Ooh. Farley's upset because his mother is financially struggling, and it pisses him off that Felix's family is down to throw Oliver a huge party, someone they've known for a month, rather than use that party money instead to send more support to his mom. That's their family. Felix doesn't really see the problem and thinks that his family has been very generous over the years. And Farley tells him, come on now, don't make me beg. You know how this looks, right? Felix is like, what are you implying? And Farley says, why don't you ask Liam and Joshua? And Felix is confused.
Yeah, Liam and Joshua.
He's like, who the fuck is Liam and Joshua?
Yeah.
And Farley rolls his eyes and answers, your new footmen. like footmen being the rich people hire them to like serve food, open doors, that sort of thing. They're a step below the head butler. And the reason that Farley's bringing them up is because the new footmen are both black, and so is Farley. So Felix gets defensive and is like, whoa, like, don't make this a race thing. We're your family. We hardly even noticed that you're different or anything like that. Crazy thing to say.
Yeah, we don't even notice.
Yeah, we don't even notice. Oh my gosh, colorblind.
Oh my God, I didn't even know you were black. Like, that's so crazy.
So crazy, but this argument doesn't really resolve. There's tension between the two of them, and Oliver's soaking in every word from the outside the window. Cut to dinner that night with the Henrys. Oliver and Venetia are seated together, and he's not really interacting with her. So she goes, Felix warned you off then? And Oliver tells her maybe they'll just have to be more discreet. And she rolls her eyes and says, no thanks. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, Felix was never good at sharing his toys, even the ones he doesn't want to play with anymore.
Whoa.
And they
crazy.
both look across the table at Felix having a grand old time with a new set of people. And like, yeah, Venetia doesn't want a secret relationship. She wants Oliver to like own it in front of Felix. Like she's seen this before.
Sure.
But he's not going to do that. After dinner, it's karaoke time. So
fun.
Sir Catton's friend, one of the Henrys, is doing a beautiful rendition of the song Low by Flo Rida, boots with the fur and all. And then Oliver and Farley are buzzed and spread out on a couch together. And Farley asks him for a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, and then lists Richard III, Henry VII, and Henry VIII.
Oh yeah, like
right.
Let me answer that one.
Before letting Oliver answer, Farley continues, I think I'd fuck Richard III because he's so insecure, so you know he'd put in the work. And then Oliver goes, or you could just fuck me. It's like, I'm insecure. I know how to put in the work.
What? Okay.
Exactly.
What?
Farley just stares back at him like he isn't sure like he heard that right because they like kind of hate each other.
Yeah.
Then Oliver calls him out for telling Felix about him and Venetia, but like he's also whatever about it. He moves on. Like he's like, I know that you did that. No big deal.
Right.
And then just keeps moving on. And he goes,
huh.
You know, Farley, you can come to me if you ever need someone to talk to. I know you've had family trouble and I can relate to that. It's like, it's so lonely. It must be so fucking weird having to ask them for everything. So if there's like ever anything I can do or if I can talk to the Cattons or help in any way, just ask. He's like trying to break this ice that's always been there.
Sure.
And Felix chuckles, very 180'd by this conversation, and then nods and is like, okay, I guess.
All right, cool.
Then Farley gets up and is like, all right, I got to put these people out of their misery now because Henry is still drunkenly screaming low in the background. But then when Farley gets up and changes the song, he announces that his best friend Oliver will be performing it.
Bro, nothing pisses me off more.
My God, no, I'm not doing it.
Don't ever
I will be a party pooper. I will bring the mood down if you do that to me. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I probably have done exactly that too.
Yeah.
Just been like, no. And then everyone's like, oh, you suck. And it's like, no, you're the one who put me on the spot. Don't do that. Don't ever put me on the spot.
So Oliver awkwardly has to stand and go along with it. And he starts singing. And basically the lyrics of this song are very poignant.
Oh.
They have eyebrows raising everywhere. The punchline in the chorus goes, I love you. You pay my rent. So yeah, thanks, Cattons, for taking me in. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be your charity case is basically what he's making him sing right now.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah. But Oliver's like, he finishes the chorus, then he's like, Farley, this is your song too. Why don't you come finish it? Mm-hmm. And Farley graciously accepts the mic back. Like he owns it. He's like, I know I'm like treated lesser than around here and whatever. Oh. And he continues to sing with feeling. So late that night, Oliver's in a bathroom dressing his hand. And we're like, what happened? Why are you dressing your hand?
Sure.
Well, then he punches the mirror in front of him and it shatters. So yeah, he didn't take too kindly to the karaoke stunt. He's pissed off. He feels really embarrassed. And he's like, taking it out like a man, I guess. Cut to Farley sleeping in his bed and he gasps awake, freaked out, when suddenly Oliver is on top of him, straddling him.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some what are you doing small talk that you got to do in that situation.
For sure.
And a whole lot of tension. And then Oliver goes, are you going to behave now, Farley?
What the fuck?
Farley says no. Like, hello? Oliver starts touching and seducing, and eventually Farley says he's going to behave. And they're so on. Like, they sleep together.
Okay.
The next morning, down the spiral staircase, Oliver sees that Farley is arguing with Lady Catton as he's being ushered out of the house by the butler.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Venetia comes up behind Oliver, and he asks her, like, hey, what's going on? And she whispers, apparently he tried to steal something. And yeah, that's it for Farley. He's kicked out of Saltburn, and Oliver's confused. We're all confused.
Yes.
But moving on.
Oh, okay.
Cut to sunbathing later that day. Venetia, Oliver, and Felix. Venetia asks Felix the details of what happened. And he says that apparently Farley sent an email to Sotheby's saying that he had recently come by some Palissy plates, which are extremely expensive. The idiot, he had to have known that Dad went to school with the chairman, like that he would get caught stealing and trying to sell these plates.
Yeah.
And Venetia goes, talk about biting the hand. Mom and Dad would give him anything he asked for. So Lady Catton ends up coming out and sitting by the pond with them, monologuing about rich people things. And suddenly she's like, oh, God, I wish we didn't have to go to London. And Felix is like, wait, what? I didn't know you were going to London. You're going to London? And she's like, yeah, for Pamela's funeral. And Oliver...
oh my God.
Oliver,
well, damn.
Oliver goes... wait, what? Pamela died? Like, hello?
Yeah.
And Lady Catton's like, oh, yeah, she'd do anything for attention.
Oh my God. I cannot. Crazy. Simply cannot.
Like, actually can't wrap my head around these people.
No.
Especially knowing, like, they exist.
Insane.
Oh.
They do.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
All right, a couple days later, it's now Oliver's birthday, and Felix is excited. He tells him to dress nice. They're going to go on a little road trip, and this road trip is all fine and dandy until Oliver realizes where they're headed.
Where are they headed?
Felix is driving him to his mother's house.
What?
And he starts panicking, like, no, what are we doing? You can't go there. We can't go there.
Yeah.
Felix tells Oliver that Oliver left his phone in the bathroom a couple weeks ago, and his mom called. And Felix answered the call, and he promises that she sounded sober, and she really just wanted to know where Oliver was so she could just send him a birthday card. And I guess they got to talking, and he was like, maybe I can bring Oliver out and you guys can, like, reconcile. You know, it seems like she's really getting better.
Yeah, please do that for me. Like, make that decision for me. Absolutely.
So Felix, is taking the situation into his hands and thinks bringing Oliver to see his mom could be really healing for him. And it's just like, no way. You're so out of touch. You don't know how this works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oliver tells him he just doesn't understand and they can't do this, but Felix isn't taking no for an answer. When they finally pull up to the house, it's really nice and taken care of in like a lovely neighborhood, good signs.
Okay.
Oliver asks Felix to just stay in the car while he sees his mom, but Felix says he isn't going to leave Oliver's side. Like, he's here to support him.
No, that is so awkward.
I know. It's very, like, out of line. Like, that's not your decision. No.
That's crazy. I can't with this movie.
It's also kind of an insight into Felix being like, I make everything better for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't, you don't have magic everywhere. Like, so sorry.
That's true.
So, up to the door, they go with a knock, and Oliver's mom answers, and she's filled with relief when she sees him. She's, Oliver, praise you're alive. Like, she was low-key worried about him.
Oh.
She wraps him in a big hug and wishes him a happy birthday. She extends a hand to Felix and is like, you must be Felix. It's so nice to meet you. Oliver, your father's in the garden. And Felix is like,
Wait, what?
Felix is like, what? His father? And Oliver's mom laughs. She's like, oh, yeah, he's been pacing around all morning. He's so excited. No. Come in.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm. This visit is very enlightening for us and for Felix, who's sitting on the couch conversing with Oliver's mom and dad, whom he thought to be dead as of a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he's keeping it together with a strange smile on his face. He finds out that Oliver isn't an only child either. He has sisters.
Oh.
He finds out Oliver's family is actually pretty well off, at least well off enough to have annual trips to Mykonos, Greece every summer.
Oh my God.
And then Oliver's parents start raving about how proud they are of Oliver, but he's so busy, being top scholar at Oxford, working with the union, his plays that he's writing, the rowing team, all lies. He's not the top scholar. He's not on the rowing. He doesn't do any of these things.
Yeah, no. Oh my God. Okay. This is not what I thought was going to happen here. Okay.
Oliver doesn't only lie to Felix. He's clearly a pathological liar to his parents as well.
Oh, shit.
The ride back to Saltburn is frosty, and there are no words exchanged.
Right.
Once inside the castle, Felix tries to get away from Oliver, but Oliver chases after him and promises that he can explain. I would have forced this explanation on him in the car, but whatever.
Yeah.
The castle's prettier to film in, so,
That's so true.
Felix doesn't want to hear it. He goes, I think the best thing is that you go home after your party. It's too late to cancel it now, and summer's almost finished anyway. We'll have your party tonight, and then I'll see you back at Oxford.
I'd kick him out too.
Yeah. It's actually very...
Absolutely.
I think I would probably not let the party go on. I wouldn't care.
Really?
I would be so mad. Well, actually, I'd be like, we're going to have a party just for fun, and you're going to leave.
Exactly.
Like, it's not your party anymore.
Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah. Oliver goes, and we can still be friends, though. Like, I mean, we're going to laugh about this. I don't even know why I said all that. It's stupid. And Felix rolls his eyes. No, it's fucking weird. I don't know where to start. You're a fucking liar, Ollie. Why would you lie? And Oliver answers, I just wanted to be your friend. And Felix...
Creepy.
Right. Felix shakes his head, and Oliver asks him not to tell his family. And Felix answers, of course not. It's dark enough as it is. Like, he's embarrassed. He doesn't even want his family to know. He just wants to get him out.
Absolutely. I'd be in the same boat. Yeah.
Oliver goes into the bathroom and lets himself sob for about 4 seconds before pulling himself together and staring into the mirror and like breathing. He's like, okay, I can get through this. Like, he's affected, but he's like very good at holding back what his true feelings are. So, cut to Oliver's birthday party. Late at night, dark and moody, midsummer night dream.
Ah, yes.
Hundreds of people all over the grounds and inside the castle, drinking and partying, rave,
Lovely.
Oliver's in a pair of antlers, and Felix has angel wings on, and Felix is refusing to speak to Oliver. So Oliver is just like left roaming around his own party alone.
Yeah.
Until a man in a knight costume jump scares him, and when he takes off his mask, it's Farley.
Ooh.
Oliver warns him to not let the Cattons see him, but Farley's like, I don't think they'll mind. They invited me. And they really did. What? They did.
Oh.
Oliver's thrown off by that, and Farley chuckles. He goes, you don't get it. This place, it's not for you. It's a dream. It's an anecdote you'll bore your fat kids with at Christmas. Oliver's once-in-a-lifetime handjob on a hay bale, golden big boy summer. You'll cling onto it and comb over it and jerk off to it, and you'll wonder how you could ever get it back, but you won't get it back because your summer's over. So you catch a train to whatever creepy toy factory that they make Oliver's in, and I come back here. This isn't a dream to me. It's my house. I always come back. Try harder next time, baby. So
that's ominous.
Yeah, he's like, basically like, I'm family. You're not.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, because we'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's time for everyone to gather and sing happy birthday to Oliver over his candled cake. And of course, when it gets to the part where they're supposed to say his name in the song, nobody knows it.
They don't care.
And Oliver's pissed off as he blows out those candles. Cut to a full-on dance rave happening in the castle, and Oliver spots Felix dancing with a girl who he then leads out into the maze out on the grounds. Obviously, Oliver follows them and finds them having sex up against a Minotaur statue in the middle of the maze. And he watches for a little bit, and then he goes, Felix, like just interrupts them.
Oh.
And the girl's freaked out thinking that the boys planned this, like Felix invited Oliver to watch or something, which he obviously didn't, but she storms off.
Sure.
Felix is pissed, screaming at Oliver to just leave him the fuck alone. But Oliver's like, no, we need to talk. And he gets up in Felix's space and he whines. He's like, you can't just throw me away. I just gave you what you wanted. And Felix pushes him back aggressively, and Oliver starts yelling, everyone puts on a show for you, Felix, so I'm sorry that my performance wasn't good enough. And Felix is freaked out. He's like, I think you need to see someone. You need help. Like, seriously. Oliver grabs him by his shirt and pleads, "No, I don't. I just need you to understand how much I fucking love you. You're the only friend I ever had, Felix. Doesn't this just prove how much of a good friend I actually am? I'm still the same person." It's like, I'll mold myself to whatever you want to be. Isn't that good?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
Felix shakes his head as Oliver desperately strokes his face. And he's like, "I don't know what you are, but I do know you make my fucking blood run cold." He's like creeped out by Oliver. Yeah. As he should be.
Yep.
And he pulls out of Oliver's grasp, and Oliver gives up trying to make Felix understand, and he walks off.
Mm-hmm.
The morning after the party, Oliver wakes up in his bed to the sound of several different people yelling his name from downstairs, like in the distance. And Oliver gets up out of bed to like a mess of a castle. The party was wild.
Oh, sure.
And everyone is spread out, like the whole family is spread out across the castle grounds looking for something or someone. And we get shots of servants running around, and Venetia and Farley are fully clothed in the pond, searching the pond.
Oh, no.
As soon as Oliver steps outside, Lady Catton's screams can be heard coming from the hedge maze. And in the middle of it, next to the Minotaur statue, Felix is lying dead.
Death count.
Here we go.
We found it.
Lady Catton insists everyone gather together shortly after this discovery for lunch as usual, and everyone is obviously devastated and having a hard time keeping it together, but Lady Catton instigates conversation. She asks Oliver, okay, so, because like we're at lunch now, she's like, we found him, she screams, lunchtime. Okay.
Yeah. Usually.
She's like, Oliver, darling, why don't you tell us about last night? Did you have a lovely time? And Oliver nods and is like, of course, like, thank you. That was a really nice party. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lady Catton is happy to hear it and smiles at her husband, saying the party was a hit, and he heartily agrees. Both of them are just pretending they didn't find out their son died and their hedge maze is an active crime scene right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep. Duncan, the butler, comes back into the room and asks if it would be okay for him to close the curtains because the coroner will be walking past as he leaves with the body.
Yeah.
Sir Catton agrees, but this is like the literal nail in the coffin here for them. There's no miracle that's going to happen. Felix is really dead. They're taking him away.
Yeah.
Farley starts to cry. Venetia pours out an entire bottle of wine like into her glass and the tablecloth, like dissociated completely, not knowing what's going on around her.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver, Lady, and Sir Catton are discussing the chocolate cake from last night, pretending everything's fine, speaking up over each other, like desperate to just keep pretending.
Yeah.
But when Duncan has trouble closing one of the curtains, Sir Catton breaks and screams at him to get it closed already. And Farley stands crying and asks to be excused. But Sir Catton yells at him too, screaming at him to just sit down and eat his bloody pie. And that he's not the only one at the table with feelings. Like, just hold it together, you know.
Oof.
So Farley does and continues to cry through it. Oliver compliments the food, telling Sir Catton that dinner is lovely, and Farley sends daggers at him, asking, what the fuck are you still doing here? Like,
great question.
He looks at everyone. He's like, does no one else find this weird?
Mm-hmm.
Oliver shoots back at him. I wouldn't throw stones if I were you, Farley. I'd feel guilty too if I was the one racking up lines the night someone died. Like, because like there was no anything physical on Felix's body, and he was drinking a lot. And so now they're thinking like, oh, it was an overdose. And now he's like,
sure,
you were doing coke last night or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Sir Catton looks at Farley and is like, is that true? And Farley doesn't answer. And Sir Catton orders a servant to search his room. Then he yells at Farley to get out and says, I won't mention this to the police, but that's all you're going to get. Nothing more ever again.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Farley leaves and we cut to Felix's funeral. Very small, held in the little church on the Saltburn estate. Oliver is of course invited, but when it comes time to throw Felix's stone in the river, Venetia and Sir and Lady Catton do that, just the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the butler holding umbrellas over their heads because of the rain. Felix is buried on Saltburn grounds, just like every member of his family before him. Oliver goes and visits... Okay. So Oliver goes and visits the fresh dirt of the grave.
Why did you pause?
It's fine. No, it's fine.
No, it's not.
It's okay.
It's literally not going to be fine, and I know that. Oh, God, help me.
Oliver goes and visits the fresh dirt of the grave after Felix is buried 6 feet under, and he starts to break down crying.
Mm-hmm.
He lies down on the grave and his breakdown continues. And then he takes his tie off. And then he takes his shirt off. He lies back down and hugs the dirt grave, needing the skin-to-skin contact. But that's not enough.
No, of course it's not.
His sobbing only gets worse. So he takes his belt off. Yeah. And he pulls his pants and boxers all the way down.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Then he inserts himself into the dirt, into the grave.
Yep.
And as he continues to cry, he has sex with the grave.
Okay. That, everybody grieves differently.
You can't judge how someone grieves, guys.
No, we're not allowed to, remember? That's not allowed.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Back in the castle, Sir and Lady Catton, Venetia and Oliver sit around in a parlor, and Lady Catton is breaking down about like all the little things, down to choosing the font of Felix's headstone. Like it's all very overwhelming. When Oliver excuses himself, she gets a catch in her throat and is like, where are you going? And he says, just up to my room. And she relaxes a little, but is still tense and is like, okay, but you're not leaving Saltburn, right? You're staying here. Like she's really bonded with him and like wants him to be here for this grieving process.
Sure. Okay.
And he nods. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. Later that night, Oliver accidentally walks in on, I actually am not sure if it was accidental or not, but he walks in on Venetia in the bathroom while she's taking a bath. And he like immediately is like, oh, I'm so sorry, apologizes. She doesn't care though, and is actually sick of his constant politeness. And she tells him that she saw him sobbing at Felix's funeral. And she's got a little monologue here. She goes, I saw you weeping away and I felt so sorry for you. But then I remembered and I started laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because I remembered that you only knew him for 6 months. You hardly knew him, Oliver. You have nothing to do with him, with us, with here, nothing at all. You're just a stranger, yet here you are. You know what Dad started to call you? Spider-Man. Because you're always skulking around weaving your spidery, Olivery web. Oh. But Ollie, don't be upset. I don't think you're a spider. I think you're a moth. Quiet, harmless, drawn to shiny things. Up against the window, just desperate to get in.
Ooh.
His reaction to all of this is basically just doing his best to contain the fact that he's seething.
Yes.
And he tells her, you've drunk way too much. And suddenly she gets a whiff of Oliver's aftershave, but it's not his aftershave. And she freaks out and grabs him, like smelling him closely. And she's like, this is Felix's aftershave, isn't it, you sick fuck? You're probably wearing his underwear too.
Ooh.
And then they start kissing deeply. Passionately. Like they don't want to, but they can't help it. It's so intense. It's odd.
Yeah.
And then cut to that occasional talking head that we've been getting from Oliver. Oh. And he says, it broke her completely. She said that she couldn't live without him. And then cut to the next morning, Venetia dead in bloody bathwater with razors set on the side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's this movie just took turns I wasn't expecting.
Good.
Because starting out with Oliver, I just thought he was going to be a chill dude.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then he got really freaking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really well done because I've had the same experience. This time on the bridge, when it's time to throw Venetia's stone in the river, Barry stands under the umbrellas with Sir and Lady Catton to do so.
Oh.
After the funeral, though, Sir Catton asks Oliver to meet him in his office, and he tells him that he appreciated Oliver's presence this summer, but he thinks it's time for him to go. And he is aware that Lady Catton doesn't want him to go, but he thinks that it's best that they have privacy now to grieve as a family, and his departure should be swift and discreet.
Okay.
And Oliver's basically like, I don't think I can do that. I want to do what's best for Lady Catton, and she wants me here.
Ugh.
After some sickly, fake, polite back and forth, Sir Catton breaks and pulls out a check. And he's like, okay, how much do you want to get away from my family and never speak to my wife again?
Whoa.
And Oliver doesn't take the bait at first. He eventually does agree, though. There's some fighting, but he does eventually agree to take the money and leave. And we don't know how much money it was, but I'm sure it was very substantial.
Yeah.
So yeah, he leaves Saltburn, and we cut to 22 years later.
What?
Yeah. He's been off living his life, and when he's flipping through the obituaries in the newspaper one day, seemingly part of his daily routine, and he sees an entire page dedicated to the recent death of Sir Catton. So I think we're in like present day, like 2022, 2023.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that would be like 16 years later. Maybe it was, I mixed up 22 years later with 2022 or something.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, maybe. Present day. So soon after, you wouldn't believe the coincidence, but Oliver runs into Lady Catton for the first time in 16 years.
Oh, wow.
At a cafe, yeah. She's so happy to see him. She's beside herself. Oliver tells her that he's seen the news about Sir Catton and how sorry he is. And Lady Catton says that she's actually surprised he waited this long, but it was still a shock. So we're insinuating a possible suicide here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, they catch up. She apologizes profusely about Sir Catton's behavior all those years ago, kicking Oliver out and saying that, he wasn't in his right mind back then because of all the grief.
Yeah.
She also asks him if he's happy nowadays. And he answers truthfully. He says no. And she's truthful in return and admits that she hasn't been either all these years. And then she extends him an invitation to come back to Saltburn.
Nope.
Cut to Oliver at Saltburn. It's a close-up of his face, and he goes, I can honestly say that these last few months have been the happiest of my life. It's just such a shame that you got so ill. And we cut to a wider shot, revealing Oliver to be bedside to Lady Catton, who's hooked up to a breathing tube and doesn't seem to be conscious anymore.
Oh, yikes.
He walks closer to her and gets up close, breathing his cigarette smoke right against her face.
Ew.
And says, but it's been a privilege to look after you, just as it will be a privilege to look after Saltburn. So thank you for trusting me. I promise I'll look after this house just as Felix would have. And we get a flashback of Lady Catton meeting with some lawyers at the start of her illness, probably a month or two ago, writing Oliver into the will and leaving everything to him.
What?
His monologue continues. God, how awful it's been with all those terrible accidents, but is there really such a thing as an accident, Lady Catton? I don't know. Accidents are for people like you, and for the rest of us, there's work. And unlike you, I actually know how to work. And we get a whirlwind flashback montage of all the work that Oliver has put in for this moment. He put a pin in Felix's bike tire, knowing that he would be there to offer help.
They're doing this. They're doing that's crazy, bro.
He lied about being poor. He had more than enough money to pay for that round of shots at the pub, but it was another hook, line, and sinker, knowing that Felix was happy to swing in and help out the poor guy, He sent the email to Sotheby's about the plates that got Farley kicked out of the castle once Farley had fallen asleep after having sex with him.
That kind of checks out. I figured Farley didn't do that.
Yeah. And of course, the chance meeting in the cafe with Lady Catton a couple months ago was anything but chance.
Right. Yeah. Going back as far as the pin in the bike is crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
Like that I didn't expect, but now it's like,
and it's why, when sense. You said he seems like a different person, like he seemed so chill in the beginning. Yeah, he was, because that's what he wanted to be portrayed as to them.
Yep. Wow.
Oliver finally answers the question, standing in the room with Lady Catton on her breathing tube, and he goes, I wasn't in love with him. I know everyone thought I was, but I wasn't. I loved him. By God, I loved him. But sometimes I hated him. Yeah, I hated him. I hated all of you. And you made it so easy. He pulls the blanket off of Lady Catton and gets on the bed, straddling her.
What?
Another flashback to the night of Felix's death in the maze. Before confronting him, Oliver drugged a bottle of alcohol, an overdose-worthy amount, and was the one to hand it over to Felix after pissing him off, something he knew how to do all too well, and left him alone with it in the maze. And back in the present, Oliver disconnects a section of the tube from Lady Catton's mouth before grabbing it and pulling the foot-long tube completely from her throat. It's very aggressive and wild to see.
Oh, that would, I couldn't watch that.
She starts convulsing, and once she reaches her last breath, Oliver lies down on top of her, snug as a bug, pulls her arms, forcing them to wrap around him in a hug. He wants her to hug him. We cut to her funeral. Oliver's the last man standing beside her coffin, and now it's time to party. In the halls of Saltburn, Murder on the Dance Floor is playing, and Oliver dances around the halls completely naked. only stopping for the occasional line of coke and to admire the 4 stones that he keeps displayed of the Catton family. And that is Saltburn.
Oh, is it now? Is that what it is?
That's what you've missed out on.
That is what I've been missing.
Can you see why it was what it was? Like such a hit, like such a phenomenon, and like in a TikTok edit sort of way.
Yeah, it feels. I feel like. I mean, I'm not even trying to use this in a derogatory way, but I feel like they use the shock value stuff that gets people.
And it's just so like the shock value of it is like so creative. I'm like, who? What sick mind can come up with this? Yeah. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like when I don't mind shock value when it's like, like something different and original and creative.
I can have fun with
I just hate shock value when it's like,
I enjoy it.
Like gore shock value. I hate gore. It's like, okay, guts, crazy. Yeah. But this shit, I love.
It's kind of fun. Yeah. No, I agree. I think my question, like my first question is like, so everything that Oliver did like in private, like he was just crazy because he wasn't doing certain things to like influence anything. If he did
like the bath.
The bath is really what I'm thinking about.
So I think a big theme of this movie is obsession. And he was like totally enamored in love with Felix as a person because he wanted to be him so badly. And I think like the level of obsession that he had for him as a person, like how badly he wanted to be that person, he got off on, like it was like to the point of like a sexual deviation, like getting off on being at Saltburn, being part of Saltburn. And I think like what he did in the bathtub is just another step of being closer. He wanted to be like, he wants to crawl inside their skin and be them. And it's just like a really vulgar and shocking thing. But yeah, I think he was like, he's crazy. Smart, but he's crazy and his obsession knew no bounds.
So the implication too is then that he like planned all of this from the start, that like he literally want to take the house? Like, do you think he planned the murders and everything from the start?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Was that part of his initial plan?
He expected to hate them as much as he did? Because at first I think he was kind of, I think he did hate them from the start. I do think eventually, I think maybe he would have taken like being taken in and getting a split, like getting written into the will, even if it was alongside Felix and Venetia. I think maybe I could see originally him being like, even just that, I would love. But then I think spending so much time with them, I think he really truly like despised them more and more and more and more. And he also became more obsessed with like this state. And like, I think he was pissed off at all this amazing life that they do not give a fuck about. Like they don't appreciate it like they should. And so I think it definitely spiraled for him into, guys don't deserve this. I do, which is crazy, but
And then I think it's also interesting that at the end of the day, like I didn't watch the movie obviously, so I have less of a
it's so beautiful
understanding, but it seems like there isn't a single likable character in this movie.
No. Yeah, no.
Okay.
I would say I like Farley the most, I would say.
Okay.
He's just really funny. But also like I understand, like I empathize with his frustrations. I think his frustrations are kind of valid. I think, there's a part of it where it's like you do get a lot from these people. Like you're living in a castle, you're getting a full ride to Oxford. Like you have all these privileges, but I can feel there's still like a disconnect between, how he's viewed versus how Felix is viewed in the eyes of not just as like, that's my son, that's my nephew, but like you are lesser than us. I don't know if it was a race thing, or maybe it was in like a way that they just didn't, it wasn't purposeful, but it was there and they just don't realize it. Just like all of their prejudices and all of their like out of touch behavior, like it extends to that as well. His mom kind of like being like the black sheep of the family and being exiled from her inheritance and all of that. I'm like, I can see how it's hard to, especially watching this kid come in here and like be completely won over by the family in 2 months, and he's just a random person, like no blood relation, like so there was some empathy I definitely extended to Farley, but I really liked Felix actually.
I was gonna say Felix actually seems like
I did like him. Like he's unlikable and you're too perfect and too rich and like you don't get it. Like he is also out of touch like the rest of his family, but he's I don't know if it's because the rest of his family is so awful, but he is kind, genuinely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right. Interesting. And it is interesting, too, like this, usually you expect like any movie like this where you're talking class, it's like the rich people are the evil people and you expect they're going to kill you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, I was starting to be like, oh, this is going to go down a very predictable path. And then, which I think is cool because they probably knew that everyone felt that way going into this film because you see too many of these. Yeah. But they flipped it. And I think that's what
very
makes it
interesting commentary on like the outsider's obsession with upper class. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, you shit on them and he says, I hate them, but you still want to be them, you know?
Yeah.
So
true.
Yeah.
True.
I liked it. And then back to like the bloody makeout. I think what was happening there was at that point, which you maybe have just put together already, but he's just testing the limits of control. You know, he's degrading her and seeing if she'll let him. And it's just him like constantly pushing boundaries and seeing what he can get away with. So that's what he was doing the entire time in this like very slow burn.
Yeah, no, that makes sense now. Ugh.
Yeah. And then the grave, I think, was genuine. I think he was like,
yeah, that was another moment really I was thinking about in terms of
in a sick way, mourning the loss and like still wanting to be one with him.
Yeah.
So odd. Crazy.
Yeah, you got to be a little crazy to be doing all of this, I would say. Just a little.
I wonder, I hope you can understand how this all wraps up into one question rather than, like, what was I supposed to ask you for the first 2 acts? I don't know.
I'm going to be so honest with you. I don't even know what the question is.
Yeah, it's very broad.
Like, you would think it'd be a question that I could predict, but, like, I'm, like, not completely sure what you're going to say here.
Okay, the question is, it all comes down to, I actually didn't answer it yet. I just got to come up with a number, but how likely are you to escape Oliver Quick's grasp before it's too late?
Okay. Whew.
The big thing here is like we're not super rich and Oliver doesn't care about us. You know what I mean? So, but putting that aside, like,
absolutely.
You know, if you're in his grasp, can you escape before it's too late?
Yeah. It seems like
he chooses you.
Like he fooled me.
Yeah.
You know, like in the beginning, I was on his side and, you know, all of that. But it seems like he like, in a weird way, he has like the same charisma.
Yes.
That Felix does. He just uses it differently.
Yes.
And I think I could fall for that. Jeez, that's rough.
I know.
Because like I was thinking like your question was going to be something about when do you leave the castle, but no, it ended up being the opposite. This is hard.
I know. I'm not,
just because
it's hard to put a number on.
Yeah, we don't even know like how the deaths. It was like if he chose me, that's it. I just don't think I don't think you can get out of it.
I know.
I'm gonna go low.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 6%.
I just wrote down 11.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah. And it gets to a point where it's like, I have to wonder, would I just, because he killed Felix the day after Felix found out about him and was like, you're out. We're kicking you out. So it's like, if I never found out, I feel like eventually I would find out. I don't know. I feel like you just would figure that out eventually if you are close with someone.
Yeah.
That they're lying to you about everything. And then of course I wouldn't be able to move on from that. I would need them to leave.
Right.
So
yeah,
I wouldn't let them stay. He'd be pissed off. And then also it's like he approached it in kind of a similar manner where I'd be like, we need to get you help. Like, I don't think you're okay.
Yeah.
And that angered him. So,
yep.
You know, and I do think as well, if I had money and I would live this luxurious life and I had a friend whose dad just died and has nowhere to go and doesn't want to go back, I would absolutely invite them to my place for the summer. So yeah, we're screwed.
We're screwed. It's as easy as that.
Oh man. All right. Well, that was Saltburn. You guys can check us out on Instagram at I'd Survive Podcast. Over there, we have a bunch of links to all the places where you can find us, including our Discord, where you can submit your own scores with our interactive worksheet and let us know, would you survive?